Welcome to the channel, you bunch of sneaky weaves. It's always nice to have you back. If you're here, might as well like the video, right? Or dislike it. It's all cool. Now, today we're going to be talking about AI. AI is one of those things it's inevitable. Like Thanos snapping his finger, it's going to happen one way or another. And AI is a very curious thing. I liken AI with the automation that happened in industry, where a lot of um, handcrafted works was replaced by machines. And curious enough, it's happening in the entertainment industry as well. AI is going to be a far cheaper tool for companies to use to basically cut down on their production budget. Whether you like the idea or not, it's just going to happen. The plus side of this is that producing things is going to be much cheaper, maybe even accessible to most people. You don't have to hire a whole team to develop, music, to develop art, to develop video games, and now to even develop anime. It is more affordable, more accessible, but you are going to be taking jobs away from people that have dedicated their lives to this craft. There's tons of studios out there like Mappa that I respect, produce great animation, but they are going to be the ones primarily impacted by this. Alright, so let's get the terror train going. This article from Kotaku was the one that kind of brought this thing to my attention. That this is an anime video. It's a short on YouTube that's around 8 minutes long. That was stylized or animated mostly by AI. Obviously, there was some other work that had to go into it to produce this type of product, and there was some mocap involved. However, all it really took was a green screen and some costumes, right? Um, and the product, the final product, doesn't actually look half bad. Obviously, you can see that there is some weirdness going on with the animation. Details popping in and out, and they're strangely detailed for a little bit, and then the detail goes away. I mean, it's odd, but it's pretty cool. However, people were reacting to this and they weren't really liking it. Here, Corridor Digital that made this video was actually talking about how they pulled it off, and people were, they were having some alarm bells ringing. Um, and then there's some people pretty upset with people trying to do this to the animation art form. Where this guy's saying, y'all didn't democratize shit, y'all are just lazy thieves spitting on entire art form. Forget you guys. And yeah, this comes down to AI basically feeds off, grows, and refines its results. The better the results, the more data it needs. Usually, the way data is fed to these AI programs is by using data that wasn't expressly given for that intention. People go online, they see a piece of animation they like, they take videos of it, and then they feed it to the AI. And the AI learns from that animation. And so the original creator didn't have any say in whether they wanted that AI to consume their work. So people are saying that AI is basically just amalgamating hundreds of thousands of people's work and just mashing it together to produce a product that is basically just stolen ingredients from hundreds of different places, right? From thousands of different people, hundreds of thousands or even millions of people, right? Depending on how big the data set is. Now, I am in the camp that AI is inevitable. Is there a right way to go about AI? Obviously, right? You can ask people that they can give their own original content to create an AI. That'd be perfectly fine. That way, you give at least the decision whether the decision whether people want their work to be put into an AI. However, AIs are going to be developed whether you like it or not. With every website you sign up to, there is a page of small letters that you have to click I agree, create the account, or agree, I'll post my content here. And within that small lettering, I am certain that a lot of companies will be able to get at least some usage rights to put people's work into AI. It's just how it is. That's just how the internet works. Nothing is really monopolized unless you're one of the big guys. Um, Now, I do think this is pretty cool. Scary, but cool, right? Like developing a car that can go over 500 miles per hour, 0 to 60 and to, from, 0 to 60 to get 500 miles per hour. That sounds absolutely terrifying. And, I do want there to be some guardrails for that type of technology. Same thing here. But I think the potential is there. Can you imagine if you have an idea for an anime and all you really need is a green screen and, maybe a couple of your buddies that kind of fit the bill, and you kind of mocap on your cheap, I don't know, $100 camera, you feed it to an AI, you get an AI voice from, let's say, I don't know, um, some like Luke Skywalker. You get Luke Skywalker's voice, and then you finagle it, and then you put Luke Skywalker's voice onto like a droid, and there's like the first droid, I don't know, first droid Jedi or something like that, and then you produce your own anime that way. Obviously, the legality of it is up in the air. I'm sure that Disney will probably sink their teeth into your carotid artery and then just rip it off, rip it out of you in court. So the legality's still up in the air. However, that potential is there. If you can imagine it, you can create it. Obviously, this has been done in art. You can go onto Dolly or hosts dozens of other AI programs and type in hot anime sexy girl with big booba, and you'll get hundreds of results. Can you imagine doing the same thing with anime? Typing in the prompt, inputting the script for the certain type of AI voice that you want. Then you kind of set the setting, and then an AI animation program will kind of take over and produce, and then you can refine. It's terrifying for people that work in the industry. For a layman that like me, that's basically sits on their computer in their free time, that sounds pretty cool. Obviously, there's tons of implications and ramifications that we probably won't see until something like that becomes available. However, this is something that's very real and will probably come very near in the future. I mean, 5 years ago, the first chat AIs got released, and people were having fun with them. And then, fast forward 2-3 years, you have deep fakes going around, and now you go another year later, and you have, AI presidents talking about Minecraft and Call of Duty, and about hitting no scopes and taking dubs and all that. It's terrifying the way how fast technology is progressing. However, you gotta understand technology does not progress at a steady rate like humanity does with progress. It's when technology is allowed to grow, it's gonna grow absolutely exponentially. That's just how computers work. Once they learn something, they learn it, they don't forget it. That information doesn't degrade, and then they build, and then they build, and then they build. It's ongoing. It's a forever ongoing cycle of growth, where a computer doesn't need a stop, it doesn't need breaks. You kind of get this, right? Obviously, there's people behind these AIs kind of developing them, and to them, it looks like they're progressing, and so why would they stop? I personally think that obviously this is something I'm scared but excited for. I have no idea what our entertainment is going to look like in the future, whether it's going to be produced by a group of studios, or there's going to be the monopolies on entertainment like big Disney or other big corporations that control media, whether they're going to let this slide. Because let's be real here, in today's day and age, the gold coin is not money, it is your attention. The longer someone has your attention, the more they're able to profit off of it. And if grassroots are able to produce their own content, I don't think the big man's going to like that. So it's going to be pretty interesting moving forward on how this type of technology develops. Whether it gets snuffed out in its crib because it's starting to pose a reasonable threat, or if it's allowed to take off and only a select few are able to handle the reins of it. I'm not sure. But this is actually something to keep an eye on. It's cool. Alright guys, so that's the video. Hope you liked it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for clicking on the video. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.